Okay, Supernatural season 12, episode 5, and we're back with the Nazis. Great! Very topical, considering all the political discourse going on right now, but we're not going to talk about that. In the previously on, when they were explaining the Nazis, I do not remember that scene where that guy was just like burning, where he spontaneously combusted. I don't remember that at all, and I've seen like every episode, so I don't know why I don't know that, but I do not remember that, like, at all. I don't remember a lot of the Nazi plots. And I know I didn't just skip them. Maybe I'm crazy. Who knows? I love how the lady who was going in to buy the watch just shows up and she's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna buy a watch. The guy's like, no, no, no. And then he tries to like walk off and then he just starts burning. And then he drops the watch and then the woman just like tries to pick it up and like skedaddle. And I'm just like, he's burning and you just don't care. That's great. I was so worried when Sam came in with like all the food and the pie. And Dean was like, no, maybe I'll have some pie later. I was like, what? Dean never doesn't want pie. That's not a thing. That's basically against his whole character. Like, there's something wrong. There's something deeper than wrong. He's probably more messed up about his mom leaving than he's leading us to believe. And Sam just really wants to help Dean not have to, like, repress his emotions. But Dean's not letting him help it. I'm just like, Dean, you need to stop repressing and just let Sammy help you. Dean was, like, surprisingly really clumsy in that last scene when they go into the antique shop and he's just looking around and he knocks over this like model of a ship and it just goes flying everywhere and I'm like, Dean, what really? You're supposed to be sneaky and like coordinated. What are you doing just knocking over everything? And then because of that, Sam says, okay, maybe let's not touch anything before we know if it wants to kill us. And then Dean just goes walking around touching everything and I'm just like, Dean, what are you doing? Oh my god, okay, it's back. Okay, I always get cut off because these commercials are really weird and really short. But as I was saying, I thought it was funny how Dean was like, damn, I hate Nazis. And I was like, I'm pretty sure everybody hates Nazis, Dean. But okay. And then they cut to this scene where these two people are just making out. I'm like, did I ask for this? I didn't, by the way. I didn't want this. But then this guy just starts burning. I'm like, oh, okay then. And then we move on to the second part after the commercial. And it starts with like the Nazi people being like, oh, we got our blood. We can track her, and I'm just like, she's so dumb, just scratching herself on the window. Like, it seemed really easy to, like, not do that, so just, that was stupid on her part. And then we see that guy again, that guy that was helping them with the Nazis. I don't remember his name, like, at all, but I was like, hey, it's that guy again. I love that guy. And then we cut to see, like, the youngest Nazi recruit person guy, and he's just, like, on the phone calling this guy, and I'm just like, you're in a parking garage. How are you getting signal underground? Because, like, that's not how it works. But then when he's on the phone, Dean sneaks up behind him and, like, cocks his gun and he's just like, ha ha ha, we're gonna go. Because I'm like, Dean's not fucking around. And then they start having this conversation about how they want to resurrect Hitler because they have his soul in a pocket watch. And this girl is just so baffled by the idea of all of this. And I'm just like, you just need to accept it and chill. But when the Nazi guy was explaining it, he was talking about how basically the pocket watch is one of like Hitler's Horcruxes, and then Dean has no idea what's going on, and then Sam's like, it's a Harry Potter thing, and Dean's like, of course you would know that. And him like basically shaming Sam for liking Harry Potter is my life, because of course Sam would know that. That's such a Sam thing to like and know. And then Dean just being Dean, that's it. That part was just great. That was great. But that girl, oh my god, Ellie really needs to stop. She needs to shut the fuck up. I'm so done with her just like being like, oh my god, really? Oh my god, Hitler, Lucifer, all this stuff is crazy. I'm like, you need to stop. But then we find out that she's like related to Hitler, and that's why they're trying to track her down, because she has like the blood to take Hitler's soul into and like resurrect him. And I'm just like, damn, like imagine being related to Hitler. That must suck. And then Ellie gets so emotional that she runs off into the other room, and then Sam and Dean come to talk to her. Then Dean gives this great speech about how there's sometimes you gotta run, sometimes you gotta fight. This is the time to fight. She doesn't take that advice though, because the other Nazi guys come in and start fighting them, so she decides to just run. And I'm just like, no, you don't run in a situation like this, because if you run, they will find you like they did. She's just like walking really quickly down this road, and then she stops because there's a car in front of her. Then the door opens, and then she sees this guy. And I'm like, if this random guy is talking to you, or any random person just like opens a door in their car and starts looking at you, you run. I don't know why she stood there long enough for him to grab her. I was like, you are running. You have a purpose of escaping. You should stop for nothing. She's so dumb. I'm done with her. But yeah, that was all that happened, and now it's back. Bye. Okay, this was one of the short scenes in like the show, but basically, It starts with the Winchesters calling Ellie and being like, yo, you need to pick up. And I'm like, first of all, maybe she's not picking up because you're underground. Second of all, how did you get her number? Just, questions that I want answered. And then it cuts to the Nazis, like, all talking because they have Ellie's phone and they're hearing the voicemails from Sam being like, yo, I know this Hitler stuff isn't cool. And then the older Hitler guy person is like, how could you tell them about Hitler? And then the younger guy, I have no idea what their names are, but the younger guy is like, they would have killed me otherwise. You should just be thankful that I saved this girl and that everything is okay right now. And I'm just like, he just really wants to be appreciated because he works really hard and he just wants some thanks for what he does. And I get that. And then the older guy starts going off about millennials and how they're so entitled and like are ruining the world. And I'm like, they're really not, but like, okay. And then I just got this thought. What if the Sandman is one of the Nazis? Like, how you see the guy just like ominously in the background whenever people are like dying? What if that is the Sandman? What if? You don't know. Because you don't know the identity of that guy, you don't know the identity of the Sandman. What if they are the same person? I don't know why they would be, but that would just be great. If we could find out that these British people are supporting, like, a Nazi, that'd be just grand and very ironic. But yeah, basically the scene just ends with, like, the younger Nazi guy about to be, like, executed by one of the henchmen, and then he, like, steals the gun away from him and then shoots him instead, and it's just very dramatic, but like nothing really happened because this is one of the short ones where it's just like a few scenes. So next scene, I guess. Okay, a lot happened in this scene. It starts with the young Nazi guy coming to find Sam and Dean at the diner. I have no idea how he found him or how he walked there that fast. It does not seem to be within the vicinity of where he started, but whatever. And I thought that he was going to turn on like his family out of resentment because they just didn't appreciate him, and he just probably felt really unloved, and he was like, okay, well then why do I have any loyalty towards you guys? So he like switched sides, helped the Winchesters, very appreciative of that. But like when he was talking about how his dad was awful because he couldn't let him live a normal life, Sam's face was just like full of pain because he got that, because that was like John to them. Like he was a hunter, so he couldn't be there for like birthdays or holidays or like for school things, and I felt so bad for Sam. But then we see Sam and Dean at like the warehouse area where all of the Nazis are at, and then I think Dean took out like some sort of cannon, like a bazooka or something, and it was something bigger than a gun that probably would have made a lot of explosions, and Dean really wanted to use it, but Sam was like, no, we need to be stealthy. And Dean looked really disappointed, but Sam was like, it's okay, we'll find a time to use it. And that was just really cute. And then we see the main Nazi guy who's supposed to be the vessel of Hitler talking to Ellie, and he's talking about how he was taking her blood and putting it into him because there was no way he was going to let Hitler live inside the body of a weak American female. And the way he said that was just so full of resentment. Like the way that Malfoy would say muggles, and I'm just like, oh, this guy's an asshole. And then we see Sam and Dean going up to these two guards, and then they sneak up behind them and they like snap their necks, and then the crunching of like their bones was like, it was so weird to hear because you could hear it just like snapping, and I was like, okay. And then it cuts back to the vessel of Hitler getting the soul infused within him, and it was really weird to watch because he like puts the watch onto his chest and it carves like a swastika into his chest, and it opens his chest up and the watch goes inside of him and cauterizes the wound that it just made to like imprint a swastika into him, and then he just turns into Hitler, and that was weird. I wasn't here for that. But then Hitler's like up and awake, and then he just starts jumping around and making a lot of noise, and I'm like, Hitler's like 12, he needs to stop. And then he's just talking, and it cuts to Sam and Dean like sneaking through the building, and then they turn this one corner, and then two guards just come out with guns pointed to their heads, and I'm just like, well, fuck. They're supposed to be stealthy. I don't know how they caught them. But then they bring them into the room where Hitler is and all the other guys are, and then they talk to him, and they're like, oh my god, it's really Hitler. And somehow Ellie gets up and out of her delirious, blood-lost state, picks up a gun off the table, shoots and kills one of the guys. Oh my god, it's back. Hold on. Okay, the episode's over. so I can properly talk about the end of the episode and how amazing it was. I think I left off at the part where Ellie shot the guy somehow in her delirious, blood-lost state. She shot and killed this guy. I don't believe that that happened, but apparently it did. And then Sam and Dean end up fighting all the Nazis. Then Dean takes down Hitler and straight up just shoots him execution style in the head. And I'm like, Dean's so proud of him. I'm proud of him. I was like, it must feel so good to execute Hitler. And then Dean just looks so proud. And that was just lovely. And then we see a scene with Sam, Dean, and Ellie just like walking to her apartment so that she can go home. And Dean's talking about how he's just like really proud that he killed Hitler. And I'm like, rightfully so. He's probably gonna brag about it for like ever because that's like a big deal. And Dean was talking about how he wants like t-shirts made about it. I'm like, I would like high-key get one of those t-shirts. Cause doesn't that just sound like ridiculous? But then Sam and Dean are talking to like the young Hitler Nazi, not Nazi guy who like snitched for them, and they're talking about how he needs to run because the other remaining members are going to go after him. And they were like, go back to Buffalo. Nobody goes to Buffalo. I was like, wow, I'm sorry to everybody in Buffalo. And then Sam and Ellie have a cute chat about how Ellie's going to go back to med school, and I hope she's going to be happy because she's like annoying, but I don't wish any harm to her. She's not an awful person. And then the episode ends with Sam and Dean sitting in the car, and Dean is talking about how he wants to go get pie because he deserves it for killing Hitler. And I'm like, you're damn right, Dean. But yeah, it was a good episode. It wasn't a necessarily important episode to the plot. It's one of those more so filler episodes where it's just more based off of the singular plot of the episode and it has no real effect on the overall plot of the season, but it was very entertaining and I enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to the next episode though, because I saw the preview and it looks like Jodie's gonna be in it and I love her so much. Oh, I finally remember her name. When I saw her face, like it came to me and I was like, she's back and I love her. She's the best character, so very excited for that. So yeah, this was a good episode and I'm looking forward to the next one. I can rotate it, right? Fuck. It's fuck. Oh well. Oh well. Oh well. Oh well. We gotta keep going.